T, that's me, Hollywood in the hood, doing it really, really big. We got a really great show tonight with some esteemed guests in the house. I'm going to remind y'all who that is in just a minute. I want to take this time right now to say thank you to the stuff that's going on in the world. Y'all sending us links to the stuff. A lot of it be funny, hilarious. Some of it be sad, mean, but I bring this stuff up and y'all swear I'm making it up. And I just don't make it up. Y'all heard about Jay-Z and Bacardi? They getting into a little riff, you know. They got the Say deal together, Bacardi and Jay-Z. Yeah, Bacardi rum, for those of you that don't drink, you know, Bacardi rum. He got a deal with Jay-Z, but they're going after Jay right now because they say he's exaggerating the valuation of his stake in the company. You know, he an artist. He out there rapping in the videos. He had all the spots with the stuff. He like, yeah, I'm blowing it up. We never, and truth be told, ain't nobody heard of Say before Jay-Z ran with it. Just another name. So, but they going after your guy about that. You know, that's got to be something else. Everybody, you do a deal with somebody, and allegedly it was a handshake deal at that. You know, and just before they went to market, you know, Jay-Z pulled out and doubled the price on them. But he said it in the lyrics. He said raise the price on them. You know, he said it in the lyrics. You know, you got to pay attention. They should have heard that little nugget in his music and been prepared for that. You know, they could have been prepared. You know, them big dogs is making the moves. Y'all heard about Diddy? Diddy, he just went into the cannabis community. He just spent $185 million, you know, taking over. So they say that he just spent $185 million and he just, you know, allocated some cannabis companies out of New York, Massachusetts, and Illinois. So he's getting into that weed game, you know.
That's not even where the money is at.
That ain't where it's at?
None at all.
Well, them dudes, they're going to have to.
People.
And people, human resource, HR?
Human resource. Prison is opening up every day.
Well, I think he taking care.
What? It look, they told us that it's more dark-skinned people look like me and up in prison, right?
Yeah.
So it's more light-skinned people.
They some hustlers.
Man, let me tell you, they done lied to us so bad.
They some hustlers. But you know what? So I don't know what's going to come of that, but, you know, $185 million in the cannabis industry, you know, so don't be surprised, you know, these artists start pumping his brands, you know. Only other person I know that's really doing it big in the cannabis community that's a celebrity, Mike Tyson. Jamaicans. Yeah, they doing it real big. You know, we know somebody that didn't hop into that arena. Big shout out to Kylan Coleman, Superwoman Productions. They got the farms down south, and they doing it really big.
Controlled by the people in power.
Hey, let's wish them luck. Let's wish them luck. Hey, she might be related to you, man. I don't know. She look like you. Last name Coleman. I don't know. Let's slow down on that.
Hey, I know a lot about, you know, cannabis means a healing substance.
Yeah, the THC. Yeah, the THC in cannabis is a healer.
It's a healer, but they commercialize it and make it as though it's something that you can make money.
So you saying they demonizing it or something?
Well, they demonize it and glorify it to dark-skinned people that they want to put in prison.
Oh, okay.
It ain't what it's cranked up to be.
Yeah, I guess we got to be more visual about that. You know what I mean? Straight up and down. You don't want to.
No, we need to be educated by the people that came before us.
Yeah.
Some people out here that came before us, man, that is dark-skinned, that is extremely wealthy.
Yeah.
But they don't talk about it.
Yeah, big shout out to the Ohio Cannabis Health and Business Summit. That's one of them. We recently had them on about a month ago. Pretty wealthy in the cannabis community, and they doing it. They just had a big event at the IX Center too. Anybody that went to that, why don't y'all hit me up and tell me about the time y'all had there, you know, so we could talk about it, maybe bring them great people back on the show. But we got a really great show tonight. We got some esteemed pillars of the community with me tonight. And if you've been paying attention, we got the Rutledge group on board with us tonight. Yeah, insurance is their thing. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to be back with the Rutledge group, and we're going to pick their brains about what they know about insurance. So stay with me, and we'll be back in a minute. Player T, that's me, Hollywood in the hood.
I'll be everything, everything is.
All right, we back. Player T, that's me, Hollywood in the hood. Doing it really, really big. And before I go any further with my esteemed guests right here, I want to thank a few people, and that's the Coleman family, Big Bud, Miss K, Money Making Miles, DJ, Morgan Swole, holding the community together for quite some time, quite longer than I care to mention. My caboose been hooked now for 20 plus years, but you know, doing our doggone thing, allowing you the platform to tell your story, talk about your business, product, good or service to the world out there, Craig. You know, straight up and down. So big shout out to the Coleman family. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Brother Rolling in the Bean Shop. If you new to Hollywood in the hood, we got the bakery here in the building. It's the bean pies, buttermilk pies, apple pies, carrot cake, pound cake, bean soup. Darwin, I don't know if you had any before, but it's very delicious, very delicious. And I always say, you know, we ship wholesale worldwide. Y'all calling us up, ordering 20 and 30 pies. But let's up the ante. Let's make it 50, 60 pies. Poppy ain't the only one shipping pies. You know, let's up the ante and make that happen. Big shout out to Immaculate Cleaning. James Barnes Jr. and them. They got the big contract with the Monsters, Cleveland Monsters, down at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. I think they're going to be cleaning up for the big fight. We're going to be down there for the fight on the 12th. You know, yeah, big shout out to Montana Love, Too Pretty Love, you know, and Thomas Gunnerman Matisse, you know, Bob Davis Boxing and all them guys. You know, they got the major event coming up Saturday, November 12th at Rocket Mortgage. So catch your guy Player T down there doing this thing, you know, media and all of that. You know, so make sure you do that. You know, big shout out to Tiny Tia, dope artist we're working with right now. Copper Music is in the digital stores. You know, I got the book up on the website right now, Learn How to Earn Unlimited Money with Hand-to-Hand Distribution. Go ahead and get the book. If you're an artist out there and you don't know what to do with your own intellectual property, you can get out here like Too Short, Master P, or Player T and hit the streets. You know, so I got the book, Learn the Language, the Technique, and the Discipline you need to have to make successful transactions of your own intellectual property. Go ahead and get that book. It's only like $29, man. You know, and it don't just have to be music. Those are great things in life that you can learn to be successful in sales, period. Like the language, the technique, and having discipline out there. You know, so go ahead and get the book. And listen, if you feeling what we got going on, you love what we do, you want to help us continue to do what we do and be that outlet for the youth in the community and yourselves, you know what I mean? Go ahead and make a donation at the website, you know, financial contribution, any amount, big or small, it all helps to keep shining a light on the stars that we are, know, love, and aspire to be. So in advance, I want to say thank you. But right now, like I said at the onset of the show, I got a pillar of the community right here, want to help people above all else. You know, above all else, you want to help people. Even gave me a Player T, hey man, you need to holler at me, man. You know, insurance all across the board. I'm talking about automobile. I'm talking about home. I'm talking about life insurance. You know.
Look, you ain't got to tell her. I can see the shine.
You can see the shine. Well, for those that still blinded, for those that still got their blinders on, I got Darwin Rutledge right here. Rutledge Insurance Group. How you doing, Darwin?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man, for coming on. I know you're real busy, man, so I thank you for coming on. You know, you and your wife, she's here with us in attendance and support. You know, Darwin Insurance Group. And like I was saying at the onset of the show, you do dwell in all those avenues.
Yes, I do.
Home,
auto, commercial, business. I do. I get more pleasure actually.
can you speak into my mic? So
I get more pleasure when helping just individuals, individual families actually. But I've got clients that are just regular mom and pop stores and businesses. I also do the large accounts like the Greater Cleveland RTA, the City of Cleveland, Cleveland Public Power. Those are some of my accounts. Some of my accounts also with Cuyahoga County.
Oh, that's
Big or
dope.
small, make no difference. at
Well,
all.
you know, it seems like in that line of work, you know, everything is predicated on relationships and building
Absolutely.
relationships.
Absolutely.
So I want to kind of like take it back, Darwin, because I'm interested. Like for somebody to get into insurance, that's a tall undertaking. You know, you got to convince people you got what it takes, and you got their back in their worst times.
Absolutely.
So
It's about building trust, because what you're doing, it's a promise that you intend to make a certain amount of premium payments each month to a company for whatever products that you may need. You're getting 18 pieces of paper with a staple in it. But that's the promise. That's basically what it is. But the promise is this here. Let's take first, you got auto insurance. Your promise is that I will make my $50 or $60 a month payment, but in the event that I'm in an automobile accident, this insurance company is going to be there for me. Wow. Not only to take care of the damages that I may have caused, but also if you caused any physical damage to a person. Instead of you coming out of your pocket, put $10,000 to $20,000 to make a person whole, the insurance companies on the other end taking care of that.
So Darwin, take me to the beginning, like how it all started, like when you were developing this in your mind, when it was just a thought, a baby of yours in the mind.
Believe it or not, I got into the insurance business a little differently than most people. I actually was a retail store manager.
A retail store
A retail
manager.
store manager. I was sent to a store in Joliet, Illinois. It was time for my annual review, and I was looking forward to a raise because I earned it. My district,
Yeah, we had low loss, we had low theft, you know what I'm saying? We kept our stuff together,
right.
you know?
My lowest department had a 1,500% increase over the guy before me.
Wow.
The district manager came in and said, well, first of all, he was late to an appointment. I hate that. He came in, didn't take off his coat, told me to sign a piece of paper. He said, I'm going to give you a 2% raise. A 2% raise would not have increased my salary by $25, and I'm driving 57 miles one way to get to this store. At that point in time, I said, look, you need to call your wife, because he kept saying he was in a hurry. I said, you can tell him you're going to be late. And he said, oh, no, I'm not going to be late. This guy actually told me that I have some company coming over. We're grilling steaks, and we're going to go out on my boat in Lake Michigan. You know what I told him, Terry? I said, call your wife and tell her you're going to be extremely late because I quit. The following day, I called up. I had a referral from MetLife. I actually called them up, went on an interview, and I didn't know that you had to have a license and have to go through school and everything. I just knew at the time I had a $700 house note. I never thought I could ever have something that high. I ended up going through the interview, said, I'm ready to get started. They said, no, you have to go to the company condos, stay there for 2 weeks, take your classes, get your license. And all the while I'm saying to myself, I don't have time for all that, but I did it and became successful. But the way you become successful is I never sold from my back pocket, meaning I don't care about the commission. It's going to come.
That's right, it's gonna come.
But if you're taking care of people,
That's right.
then you're going to get the referrals.
You learned that early on?
Early on, even before sales, even before I got into sales. That's something that my father taught me. Now, my father had a lot of people say a checkered background. My father was a number man in Detroit. Yes, he did.
Yours too?
That's right.
Yeah. The clearinghouse?
That's right. That's right.
Hey, hold on. Those are some of the strongest people in the community.
You better believe it.
They're like the glue in the fabric of the communities.
You better believe it was.
Yeah, we built it.
You better believe it. There's some big names here in Cleveland we don't have to mention, but that actually built Cleveland on policy, absolutely. But I learned from him that you take care of the person. If you promise somebody something, fulfill it. If you can't fulfill it and say, Terry, I'll get back to you in 24 hours. You got to get back in touch with Terry in 24 hours. If I don't have the answer, Terry, I'm going to say, Terry, I don't have the answer, but I'm working on it. But you got to, if you make a promise, you got to keep it.
Hey, do you remember one of the first times you had to make good on one of those policies? They came knocking.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Rutledge, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't happen to me. I didn't think it was going to happen. It didn't happen, man.
I tell a lot of agents who've been in the business, a lot of them have been in the business for a number of years, but you're not really in the business until you have to deliver a death claim check.
Oh my God.
A death claim
A
check.
death claim check.
So you're not in the business until. So all you frauders out there, you frontliners, front runners, if y'all ain't dealt that death check yet, y'all still out here perping.
It's easy to write the policy, but how easy is it when you go back to the family members and you got a grieving widow there with 3 or 4 kids? All the money in the world is not going to bring that man back to life. But see, now you've written a policy and now you say, well, did I write enough? Did you offer more? Because guess what? Then you got a mortgage. If you got 3 kids, it is your responsibility, this is my personal opinion, it's your responsibility if you're having children to get them through the first 4 years of college. So now I got to feed, clothe, and educate these kids off of that money, because guess what? The money that you were making, Terry, for your wife before you died could have been $75,000. The company you work for is not going to say, oh, Terry was such a nice guy, we're going to continue to pay his salary and give you the increases of any kind of a raise he would have got. That's not going to happen.
Right.
So now you got to figure out how in the world to stretch. This here's 100,000.
Well, hold on, Darwin, because I'm in the business of making money, and I understand relationships, and I understand being there for people in time of need, but those are really not my concerns. My concern is we were liable by this contract, and I'm supposed to deliver what I'm supposed to at the time I'm supposed to do it.
Your portion is the easy portion. Your portion, all you got to do is make sure you make your payments.
Yeah.
That's the easy part.
Yeah.
The tough part is when I get a notice from your wife saying Terry was died. Do you know what it feels like to go into somebody's household and then you just hand her a check for $100,000, knowing good and well that ain't gonna go very far.
Yeah.
Terry, I spent that much on the truck today.
Yeah.
That's nothing, Terry.
Yeah.
People think it's a lot of money. It's not.
Yeah.
Absolutely is not.
No, baby, it was one of them big boys. It was one of them joints, one of the ones you see in the magazine. That's what it was, you know.
But I'm saying all of that is because, you know, I'm very passionate about it. It's not about my income. I don't even live, I live off of Social Security. Every dime that I make either goes.
No, that's good. Yeah. You ain't gonna hear me like, oh man, yeah, that's good.
Money wise.
And investments, but we're not here to talk about that.
Okay. In my research of you, it seemed like you had at one particular time, you were bustling with numerous branches.
Yes.
Of your business.
I had several locations at one time, and again, my philosophy is bring somebody else along. I don't have a problem with you saying, well, Rutledge, I want to go off on my own. Then I'm going to say, well, all you know is the sales and service part. Let me tell you how to run the business part of it.
Whoa!
They take that information and knowledge, and I'm always, even to this day, 40 years later, I will still help you. Because when you help somebody else, it makes you feel good. And like I said, in our community, we don't have a lot of that. And we need more mentors.
That's right.
And I'm proud to say I've got agents stretched out from Michigan all the way to Atlanta. And
So-
I'm still in communication with them.
Were some of these people that you birthed into the insurance game, were they some of your own relatives?
I never brought a relative in the business.
Hold on. Now the question begs that, why not?
Not only do now I have my son and my new wife here in the
Okay.
business. But before that, no. And I never allowed them to even be my clients. I'll send them somewhere else.
Okay, can you explain those two things?
The reason why I didn't have my family members insured is because a lot of times family members can be the hardest clients you could ever have. They think you owe them something. Oh, I'm not going to pay my insurance. Darwin will take care of it. That's not how Darwin works.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
None at all.
It's a contract.
Yeah.
You sign your name. I've signed my name. I've got 3 people to satisfy. I got to satisfy you. I got to satisfy the company that I put you with. And then I got to satisfy the Rutledge household.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right, that's right.
Yeah.
in that order most of the time.
Yeah. The Biggie said, "Money and blood don't mix."
Never does.
You heard
Never
what Biggie
does.
said. You know, yeah. So that's understandable. So when your folks moved on and felt they were in a position to do that, and you said there was no hard feelings, and actually you said if they needed help, you would help them to this day.
Absolutely. I'd help them to this day, but I won't bring them into my business. No.
So hold on, has anybody got so smart that they thinking they can come back and teach the teacher?
Oh, you always get that. And you know, that's a good side, and then there's the bad side. A good side is if you learned enough about the business and you care enough about people, then you can come back and do that. But if you haven't and you're just talking, you're not ready.
Yeah.
You're absolutely not ready. I mean, I handle contracts from small contracts all the way to contracts that are $16, $17 million. You don't want to mess up with those. I don't want to mess up with even the smallest contract. But I give everybody the same part of me. It's the passion.
So with you dealing in so many lanes of insurance, which one of those came first, or how did it develop? Like, did it start off personal insurance and then we just started develop? Like, how did it go?
I developed, first of all, with life insurance.
You started with life insurance.
Life insurance. I learned the reason why there's life insurance.
You had to develop a spiel to get next to somebody to talk about life insurance. Don't nobody want to talk about their life, passing or they don't. That's an uncomfortable conversation.
But it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Only one person that I heard of that died and came back.
Yeah, it's only one person I heard. Yeah, man, that's the
right.
thing I heard of him.
That's right.
I ain't seen him yet, but I heard of him.
I heard.
But I just heard a rap album too.
I heard that they nailed him to a cross,
Yeah.
stuck a sword in his side,
Yeah, I heard
and then
that.
sent him home to his father.
Yeah, I heard that.
It's the only one I know who came back in 3 days.
No. So, Darwin, did you have to develop a spiel to win the heart and mind of a prospective client of yours?
The way I developed mine was a cold-hearted way that you don't want to develop. Have you
Say
ever
that
had
again?
cold-hearted way? Because have you ever had a person, a relative that died that did not have life insurance?
Yeah.
Do you know what the average cost of a funeral is today? Just a regular funeral.
$25,000.
You got that much just set aside? You got that much set aside that you just want to give away?
Nah.
Now, I'm going to tell you, Pepper Boy, good friend of mine, I love him to death. Boyd's Funeral Home. I also insure Gaines Funeral Home. Strawberry's Funeral Home.
You insure these funeral
Yes.
homes? Fathom that!
But the thing is,
He insured these funeral homes.
and they're great people. They're
Great
in
people.
business, okay?
Yeah.
But you have to understand, a funeral and burying a person is a business.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to have to go into my savings to pay for a funeral.
Yeah.
I had to bury my wife not too long ago. Well, we did cremation, and that's still in the thousands of dollars. But if I did not have the life insurance, it would have hurt me financially. But the beauty of life insurance is this here. Do you realize that when you get a death claim check, it's tax-free? There's nothing Uncle Sam can do about it.
Is that right?
So when you die and I give your wife $250,000, like I said, it's not going to bring you back to life. But guess what? On her way back from dropping you in the ground over there on Green Road,
Yeah.
she could run over to Chase Bank and know she got $250,000 in there, gaining a little 1% interest, but it's $250,000 that nobody can touch. No, it's tax-free.
That's dope. Yeah, that's dope. I didn't know that. Yeah, that is cool.
Now that's knowledge.
Got a lot of you thinking about insurance now, huh?
You better be.
Now you know where to go. I didn't hook you up. Now
You
you
better
know.
be.
You know
Where the bag at?
where the bag
Get
at.
the insurance, life insurance.
And it's legal.
Get it.
How long did it take for you to get comfortable to speaking to these people about their deceased loved ones and then taking care of the families with their death claims?
When I buried my father,
When you experienced your own loss?
you bring those feelings up.
Ain't nothing like
There's been times that I actually cry in the household. I'll give an example.
Cried in the household of the
With
person
the
that
people,
you.
yeah.
Wow.
I'll give an example. I was selling insurance when I was in Chicago. I met a family there. He worked for the post office, she worked for the post office. Beautiful home in Glenwood. Glenwood area of Illinois is pretty close to like Beechwood. 2 brand new Cadillacs. Wife was pregnant, 3 kids, and wife was pregnant with the 4th one. He worked at for the post office, she did too. She called me up on the phone. I went to the house to set up an appointment with them. I'm looking at what they have, the assets. I'm looking at the house. I'm looking at the kids. I'm not thinking anything less than $500,000 in life insurance. I don't care if it's term or whole life. This man said to me in front of his wife and kids, "Oh, I don't want no life insurance. I don't want that much life insurance because if when I die, I don't want her to give it to another man." So then I said to him,
Ah.
you lay.
If you didn't lose your wife right then and there, you lost a big part of her. She might have been
Let me-
sitting there
that's right.
physically in front of you, but I'm here to tell you that was just a shell of herself.
Let me tell you what happened. He made that statement. I said to him, I said, "Look here. There's a thing this woman can do to you right now while you're alive and you wish you was dead. All she got to do is file for divorce."
Real talk.
I said, "Then you're going to take," I said, "you got a house note. You got to feed, clothe, and educate 3 kids and 1 on the way through their first 4 years of college."
Don't lose it all.
He fought me tooth and nail. I left out the household. I should have stayed longer because it bothers me to this day. Because you know what happened? 2 days later, coming down to Dan Ryan, on his way home, this man gets in a car accident and he is killed. So what did he get from the post office? I think at that time they might have been making $35,000 a year, so I guess he got his salary. But that is not going to pay for 2 Cadillacs. That's not going to pay for a house in Glenwood. That's not going to pay, feed, clothe, and educate 3 kids and 1 on the way.
And his insurance
I
lapsed
felt
'cause
bad
he
as
didn't.
hell. He didn't get
Yeah, he
the
didn't
insurance.
didn't get
He
it.
refused to sign his name. The wife came to my office before all that happened and said, "Well, can I sign his name?" I said, "No, ma'am, I have to witness his signature."
Yeah.
He didn't get it. Do you know what it felt like? When you sat there in the house and
See, that's the
I
part
don't
of the
know what I didn't
business
do
that's
right.
not talked about or glorified. You know, you just look upon insurers like fat cats getting it.
Yeah, you people think that, "Oh, I'm not going to do that." That's the first thing when times get rough. The first thing people let go is their life insurance. That's the last thing you should let go. The absolute. You can go without cigarettes. You can go without liquor. Let me tell you something. I grew up in Detroit.
You go to Detroit?
We went without heat. We went without water.
Amen.
You keep a roof over your head.
That's right.
Guess
Got
what?
to keep it real over here.
Until COVID came along, you could have went to McDonald's and washed up.
That's right.
You
That's
keep
right.
that life
That's
insurance.
right.
Because I can guarantee every listener out there and watching this show, you are going to die. I can guarantee you that. So why would you leave the burden on your loved ones to take care of your final expenses? Why do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Real.
So life insurance was first, and then
That
we
was first,
started
yep.
getting into what?
I started off in life insurance, and then a good buddy of mine, he was in property and casualty. Property and casualty is the home, auto, that type of stuff, property. And so then I decided, I'll try that too. He told me to. I said, "Oh, I'll try it."
What intrigued you about it? When he said he was making a lot of money at it, what intrigued you so much so that you were willing to spread yourself to another level with it?
Well, yes, he has made a lot of money. He's quite wealthy doing it.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
But that wasn't the part that intrigued me, because like I said, I can manage just about anything. But it allowed me the avenue to help people even further, you know. It helps me even further because, Terry, even if you just got an apartment and you got furniture in there, it doesn't have to be a lot. So you got a little $14 a month insurance policy covers $25,000. You say, nothing's going to happen. Nothing may not happen. But then guess what? You come home one day, your front door's kicked in. All your valuables, those are your valuables. They meant something to you because you bought them.
Yeah.
Okay? They're gone. So now you got to replace them.
Yeah.
Had you kept paying your little $14, you wouldn't have to worry about it. because in 7 days, the insurance company is going to be sending you a check for whatever the face amount of that policy was, the less your deductible.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to replace your items when you go into Walmart with somebody else's money,
Yeah.
as opposed to digging in your pocket.
Yeah. You know? Well, hold that thought, Darwin. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a minute. Player T, that's me, Hollywood in the Hood. Player T, that's me, Hollywood in the Hood. Doing it really big, reminding you if you're an independent artist out there and you got your own intellectual property and you don't know what to do, you're twiddling your thumbs, you know, you're just stacking up music, CDs, your own stuff, and ain't doing nothing with it. And you're seeing people out here making money off their own intellectual property, well, you could do the same thing, you know, but you need to know the language and the technique and the discipline you got to have to be successful, you know. And to that effect, I got a really great book. It's right here on the site. You're here watching the show. You can peruse the website after the show and go ahead and get the book. Learn how to earn unlimited money with hand-to-hand distribution, you know, and learn the language, the technique, and the discipline you need to have to be successful. You know, great fight coming up. I told you we're going to be there on the 12th. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Montana, Too Pretty Love, and Thomas Gunnerman Matisse, Bob Davis Boxing Club, them guys and all that. Big shout out to them. Tiny T, a really dope artist we're working with. Immaculate Cleaning. If you got a industrial business, they got really great janitorial services. You know, they take care of the queue down there, or what's called the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse now. You know, yeah. You know. But right now, like I said, if you're just tuning in to this live stream, you know, we got right here Mr. Darwin Rutledge right here from the Rutledge Group.
Thank you.
Insurers.
Thank you.
Home, auto, life, all of that. Now, that begs the question, Darwin, you know, because I always wanted to know, now, because you said something at the beginning of the show, you say you can hook them up with different policies. So in doing so, do you also hook them up is it Rutledge Insurance also, or how does that go? Is it?
No, I'm the agent and the broker of, it's called broker of record. So what I do, I have a contract that I have with various carriers. Okay. I'll only work with carriers that are A and A plus rated companies.
If you ain't in the Better Business Bureau with a high rating, I ain't hollering at you, baby.
That's true, because, you know, like I said, with those 14 pieces of paper stapled together,
yeah.
If they can't if they have a claim and they cannot fulfill those claims, I don't sleep at night.
Do those companies that you are in agreement with, do they treat you really well?
It's a contract.
In other words, hey, they
contract.
do what they say they're going to do.
And
They ain't doing no more, and they ain't doing no less.
That is the truth. It's a contract.
It's a contract. And you ain't mad at that.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. If I write a certain product, and like I said, I don't even have a problem sharing what my commissions are with my clients. I feel they have a right to know. You're paying me.
Why do you do that? You think it makes them feel more comfortable with you?
I'm hoping that it will, and trust me.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they trust me, because I tell everybody. Do you realize that of all the clients that I have, I say about 90 to 95% of them have my personal cell phone number. I get phone calls on Sundays, but they're supposed to. Agents don't do that. And my other fellow agents, they look at me and say, Rutledge, you're crazy. You give them your personal cell phone number? I said, yes. I said, because guess what? If they can't sleep, I'm not supposed to sleep. Right. If they got a concern on a Sunday, it's my concern.
Hey, do you remember making good and feeling good about it? Making good on a particular claim. It was on the claim was on the up and up. You felt good about reimbursing them, or paying them what they were due. You felt good about it. You woke up the next day like, yeah, I'm glad I was able to do that for them. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I had a call. I was in church on a Sunday.
Wow.
A very high politician here in Cleveland was a client of mine.
Okay.
They just bought their home. A person in a car running from the police drove through the lot, ran into their house. Their car is now in the basement. And they called me up, Rutledge, what do I do? I told my wife, I said, honey, you and the kids, I have to meet you guys at home. I left church. I got to the site. I didn't have to do that. I made the phone calls. I made sure that they got a place to stay during the night. Got the claims department over there. Took care of the property, and that's what it's about. That's really not the agent's job, but I get there. I gotta get there, you know.
Going above and beyond.
You got to go above and beyond. You have to do that, because see, I'm not the only insurance agent out there.
Right.
I used to have an Allstate office, and I had to go to the corporate office in Chicago because I would never open up an office in the suburbs. And people said, "Why not? It's safer." It's not about that. People in the urban area deserve the same product and service that they're going to get in Beechwood, Pittsburgh, or Solar. That's right.
And it's safe because you know your kind.
I had to, and this company, the headquarters in Chicago. I had to go there and tell them that I wanted to do it. They kept saying, "Well, you'll never be successful. Well, when you have a market in the urban areas." I said, "Well,
That's a lie.
I'll determine that." I said, because if I'm not successful at this point in time, then I bought a house in University Heights, and the house note was $1,700 a month. I don't like bills at all.
Period.
I said, well, I don't know if I can afford this, if this is going to work. Come to find out, not only was I successful, I was in the top 3% in the country.
Top 3% in the country.
In the
Fathom
country.
that. Fathom that. That's no small potatoes.
No,
That's not a small feat.
Know that.
That's building relationships. That's being
That
a
is
man of
exactly
your
what that
word.
is.
That's delivering when it's time to deliver. That's what that is.
That's exactly what that
Doing
is.
you know how to do.
That company then turned around and said, "Oh, he's successful there." So then they started bringing more agents in the inner city. But what they had to do was this here. They said, "Well, you got to go train in Mr. Rutledge's office for at least a week, so he can show you how to do it."
Hold on. That means we pulled in that extra. That means we pulled in that extra bag too. No, we pulled in that extra bag too, because we got to train you folks up.
Yeah, it was a different market. You know.
Okay.
You got what they want. They don't care where you at.
So some of your clientele, what's some of your longest customers been like? How long have they been with you? Some of your longest clientele.
I've got clients that's been with me since 1989 when I relocated here.
Hold on. Let's think.
1989
Oh,
when I
let's think.
relocated here.
That's well over 30. That's 89. Help me do the math, somebody. Don't add it up. Huh? 32 years? Don't add it up. He certainly don't look like it, right? You know what I'm saying? No, that's dope. That's dope. So some of your clients been with you for that long, and you got some clients that you just probably picked up a couple days ago.
Every day we pick up somebody new. Every day we get an opportunity to help somebody. And you just don't know how good that makes me feel. You know, somebody calls their office. Oh, especially the ones with the auto insurance, they may have just, I just got pulled over. I got to have an SR22. I'll take as much time as it need to be to make sure that I get the right product that can fit into your budget.
Did the so-called COVID, did that slow you down? Did it impair you? Did it increase business? What did it do for the Rutledge group?
We kept going.
Huh?
We have never been less than 12% increase every year. Every year.
Good stuff. Yeah. Never less than 12% increase every year. That sounds like Donald Trump, That sounds like any of those big magnets, Any of them that's doing their thing. Jeff Bezos. Home run hitters?
Home run hitter.
Yeah.
My brother's a home run hitter. Man.
Yeah, I could dig that.
So
Are you in the business of hiring right now?
I would love to be able to hire. But here's the problem with that. You'll get an individual, and I have them calling me all the time. Miss Rutledge, I want to do what you do. First thing they will say, I want to get into the insurance game. I said, well, first of all, it's not a game. When you say that already got one foot out the door. But even if you got your license, they'll come in and say, well, I need to make $75,000 a year. And then my comeback is that all you want to earn? $75,000? So then I said, okay, not a problem, for starters.
Yeah.
I said, but do you know what you have to do
To
in
get
order
that?
to earn 75,000? I said, how many clients do you have to bring in, or how many sales you got to make per day to make that much? They have no clue. Then I asked, well, how many clients or how many people you know that you can call upon that'll trust you enough to allow you to sit with them, discuss their financial literacy part, whether it's life insurance, investments, their business, their auto. How many people do you know? How many people will actually, I don't have any. I said, well, how do you plan on making $75,000 working in my agency? Well, your phone is ringing off the hook. My phone rings off the hook because I've been doing this for 40 years. I don't need you to take care of my clients. You need to bring in some
Yeah,
new blood.
right. Yeah, I don't
Bring
need
your
you to
clients.
take care of my clients.
Yeah,
right.
bring in yours.
Yeah.
Bring in
We're
yours.
all about growth and expansion.
That's exactly what it's about. It's
You know
about
what I'm
growth. It's about growth and expansion.
Well, you know, Darwin, I want to know, like, starting out, how did you get the ball rolling? Because you had to get the phone cracking, you know. So, like, you had to been like a scarred dog, running like a scarred dog. You had to be at all the events, passing out your card. You had to go to every doggone thing. Was it like that?
When I first started out, and I always call it Mother MetLife. You had to, when you left the company school, you had to have at least 5 appointments. I lived in Chicago. Now, a lot of you people out here now younger, y'all don't know what a phone book is. But do you understand the city of Chicago, how many people they have?
Yeah.
They had a phone book this big.
Yeah.
I started from the first page, and I kept on calling people until I got 5 appointments. That's how I did it.
Kept calling people
I
till you
never-
got 5 appointments a day.
I never got, some agents when they start off, companies will give them what's called a book of business. That means they've already got existing clients that they can call upon and either increase their insurance or ask for referrals to write their kids. I never got that. Never wanted
Never
that.
did that. Huh?
Never got a
We
guarantee.
got it out the mud.
Never
We got it
a
out the
guarantee.
mud.
Out of the yellow pages.
Yeah, AKA the yellow pages, you know what I mean? Wherever your mud was, you know, wherever that mud was, you know what I'm saying? Wherever that mud was, you dug into it, you
That's
know
true.
what I'm saying?
When I came here, though, the way I started out was I got flyers. And then one time, the mall here that was on, what was the name? Northfield Mall, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Randall Park.
Park Mall. I went over there, and I passed out flyers. I put flyers on every park car there was until security ran me out of
Oh,
there.
you caught one? You caught one on your car? You caught one on your car too?
When they ran me from over there, there's a racetrack right across the street. I went to the racetrack and I put them on people's cars. That's how I did it. I passed out business cards.
And then you run the Richmond Mall.
That's true.
Yeah.
But when I pass out my business cards, there are agents out there that still almost have their original business cards. At that time, I was going through 1,500 business cards a month. And I give it to everybody. The first thing I tell you when I hand you, I tell you what I do, who I am and what I do. I hand you my business cards. And the only thing I tell you is this here. I said, you may or may not need me. I said, but do me a favor. Just don't throw it down on the ground in front of me.
How did you gain the confidence to walk in them offices and land the big contracts with the big corporations?
Just the man, what do you
I'm the same as every guy in here, and I'm going to be honest with you. When you was in high school and you saw the girl, the prettiest girl in school, you were afraid to talk to her first, but you wanted her to be your girlfriend, right?
Right.
The only thing she could have said was what?
No.
No.
Yes or no.
Yeah.
Well, when you're in sales, the only thing they can say is yes, no, or maybe. Yes and maybe are the same things. No to me, no.
Oh, that's kind of dangerous. So some of y'all don't equate that with nothing but insurance or something like
No,
that.
that's with anything.
Because
That's
no,
with anything.
you gotta get nowadays. You gotta get that definite, yeah.
Well, that
You
that
heard the
maybe,
dude, my
that
little
maybe
yeah,
will turn
yeah.
into a yes. The maybe will turn into a yes.
Okay.
Because you just have to show them why
Why?
you need, this product is good for you.
Yeah.
And the same thing with no. You cannot walk away from somebody because they said no. Because I walked away from the postal worker.
Yeah.
And I'll never want to feel that way again.
All you gotta do
Never.
is speak at the whipping feet.
I didn't do enough to persuade him that this is something that He didn't need it
Right.
because he'll be dead.
Right.
But his family needed it.
Yeah.
And that happened over 40 years ago.
So that sat with you and kind of haunted you a little bit because you felt like you could have done more to.
I should have done more. I was new in the business.
Like I could have
but I
gave you a
should-
policy that you could handle.
Even less than that.
Oh,
but you
wow.
should have got something. I should
Wow,
have
and that
pushed
sits
for,
on your heart.
even to this day, 40 years ago, I wasn't even in the business 2 months.
How real is that? You the real deal insurance wise. Hey, Darwin, I know you got to go. If somebody wanted to patronize your business, how could they get in touch with you?
Our phone number is area code 216-561-4444. We're located at 2084 Noble Road in beautiful East Cleveland, Ohio, 44112. And we have a website, www.rutledgegrp.com.
There you go. That's what it do. Hey, I want to thank Mr. Rutledge and his
thank
wife
you,
for
Terry.
coming on board.
Thank you very much.
Plugging us. So now you know. Now you don't have no reason to not have insurance. But I gotta get something. We want to thank the Rutledge Group for coming on board. I want to thank everybody around the world for tuning in, watching this live stream. Play it to that's me, Hollywood in the Hood.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.